This Teachlet is on lesson modifications. How do I know I have them and how do I get to them in Connexus? When you open up your planner looks similar to this. You have your lessons for the day and you have different little symbols next to the majority of your lessons. You may have one that has a D with a bubble talk, which means a discussion board, or a Q with a check mark, which means a quick check, or a Q with what looks like a little piece of paper, which means a quiz. And sometimes you may also have what looks like an eraser with two pieces of chalk where those arrows are. That indicates that lesson has been modified in some way, and there's information when you click on that lesson that you need to get to and see what you need to do with that lesson. When you open up your lesson page, you will notice at the bottom of your screen all those little icons, the one with the books, the backpacks, the push pin. If you keep going over, right next to the question mark, there's that eraser with the pieces of chalk. You're going to click on that before you even start your lesson so you know exactly what you need to do for that lesson for that day. And there are several examples in language arts that you might see, so I'm going to go through a few of the types of lesson modifications that may pop up. The first one might be just like this. It may tell you that you have more choices than just what the lesson gives you. For example, this one says, for your summary, you may choose another nonfiction article of your interest if you would like, instead of just using the ones in the book. And it gives you what else I need for you to do. So this is an example of how you're still doing the lesson, but the lesson has slightly been modified to help give you more choices. You will also find your lesson modifications on when I need you to take Cornell notes over something that you have read. So on this one, it tells you that I need you to take the Cornell notes over how things work. It tells you where it's located. It gives you the topic and the essential question. And on this one, it also gives you a video to watch to kind of review over Cornell notes. And sometimes there may be videos for you to watch that reviews over a concept that you need to know, or it helps you learn how to get to something. You may also see a lesson modification that tells you not to do a specific lesson and to go do something instead. For example, this one tells you not to do lesson 4, but to go to Steady Island and to do a pretest. And there's also a video that's included to tell you how to get to Steady Island. So sometimes instead of saying a lesson is skipped, instead of just totally skipping that lesson, I will put in a lesson modification and let you know you're not doing that lesson, but here's what I need you to do instead. The other kind of modification notes might let you know if there's an audio recording of something that, of one of the stories that is in the literature book that you were required to read. So for example, in this one, it lets you know there's an audio recording of one of the literature stories, and it tells you where you can find it. And all the audio recordings for your literature stories, if there's one available, is always going to be on your message board. And I would like to thank you for joining me in this Teachlet on lesson modifications and how to get there and where to find them.